Hey, what's going on, everybody? What is Bitcoin doing? What is the market doing? I'm going to get into that, but also I'm going to respond to Blockchain Backer and what he said. Basically, what he said today and in sharing his fractal gives a lot of confluence into what we've been talking about over the last several weeks. And basically, that involves getting back down here and testing the bull market support band. So, right now, or it's been so, the main idea has been somehow we get down here. So how does that look? There's a couple different ways it can happen. The fractal that he shared actually does a good job of highlighting that, and that's kind of what we've been talking about. Basically, we have an A, right? We come up into a B, and then we kind of work our way down into a C, right? Maybe we take out the low, maybe we don't. A lot of times it likes to sweep the lows to grab that liquidity. A lot of traders have their stops here, trigger the stop loss, and then boom, we start to take off. So we have an A, B, C, right? I mean, when he was looking at the total three, we also have, what I've been talking about as well is a flat pattern, right? Which basically, the last two times Bitcoin broke above the all-time high, it created a running flat. But a running flat might not get the job done to get us to test the bull market support band. So what we could see here is an expanding flat, right? Where we have an A, we come up for B, and then we come all the way down, we work our way down into C, right? We take out the low. And if we can do that, then at that point, we could then meet up with the bull market support band, right? Think of the bull market support band as an electric car charger, right? You're driving your car, and every freaking time you need to charge the batteries, right? So every time you get a pump, you need to come back down and charge the batteries to continue going. So if you go too long without doing so, you collapse on yourself. But anyway, basically that's what we have for the main idea here is basically saying this is an A, B, C, something we've been talking about for a while now. If you look at the fractal he shared, basically right here, right, this is the Bitcoin chart. So you have an A, you come up for B, you take out the top, and then you work your way down for C, and then you continue going. And I believe this C leg also tested the bull market support band. So if you look at what total 3 is doing, and also Bitcoin as well, we came down, we came back up, we took out the top, and now we're probably working our way back down to equal lows, or maybe sweep the low and test the bull market support band before continuing higher. At the end of the day, it's all about XRP and the altcoins like Theta, XRP. And the big reason why this is important is because, number one, it gives confluence into our chart, right? And number two, it gets us down to test the bull market support band, because it is very important. You can see we haven't tested it yet. And also, this was the same pattern here. We have an A, B, we took out the top, we came down for C, so it was a flat. So a lot of times the flat patterns test the bull market support bands, but down in here, back up here, I said it's probably likely we're going down into a flat. We came down, I said it's probably likely we'll test it, but we didn't. So I said we'll probably end up paying for that later. And so now here we are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So chances are we're probably going to make our way back down and test it. If we don't, and we continue pumping higher, then at some point we will test it. But the problem is, if we wait too long, the market becomes unsustainable and it will collapse on itself. I mean, let me show you this right here. Back in the day, right? Remember this bull run? We didn't have, it was very quick. The bull run was very, very fast. Right, very fast. It ended too quickly, and part of the reason is because we didn't test the bull market support band. Right, we only tested it once. We came up, we never tested it. We came up, we never tested it, and eventually it collapsed on itself. And people were wondering, well, it just got started. Well, because it didn't test. Now look back over here. Look how long this one was. This one was much more interesting. We broke above, we tested, we broke above, we tested it, broke above, we tested it again, we broke it above, we tested it again, we broke above, we tested it again, and we broke above, we tested it again. Look how many times we tested it. That offered long-term sustainability, especially for the altcoins. Now, if you look at where we are today, like just look at over here, people thought we were going to break above, but look, we never tested it, so we came back underneath. So now, fast forward today, we tested it here, we tested it here, but we did not test it here. So most likely, we're going to test it now. The reason why that's important is because for the last couple weeks, we've been talking about the potential for, different ideas. I mean, one of the ideas was this is a triangle, A, B, C, D, E, then we go. Another idea is rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, then we go. And then the other idea was A, B, and C, right? So that's sort of been the main idea, is some type of ABC pattern that gets us back down here. Now, by the time, if you sort of project outward where this is going to land, you can kind of see, if we start to work our way down, it would make sense for that to continue pumping to the upside. So something like that. So if you take a mental screenshot of that and look at this is actually the fractal that Blockchain Backers shared. And look at this. We perfectly nailed the bull market support band. So we have our top here. We run up in A. We come down, right, in wave A. We come all the way up. We take out the top in wave B. And then we work our way back down into wave C. We sweep the lows, and then we continue going much higher. Now, when you fast forward to Bitcoin, we did not take out the top, right? So one of the things I was talking about is, do we have the potential to come up and break the top? So right here, right, we have an A, we come up, boom, boom. We had the potential to come up, take out the top, and then work our way down. But that didn't happen. The question I have, that could still happen because it could be a diagonal, right? Where you have a 1, 2, 3, we're in 4, we come up one more time for 5, we break the top, and this would be an A, right? We come up in 5 for a B, a diagonal, then we come back down into C, right? Now, not too sure if a diagonal can be in a wave B, but even if it's not a diagonal, it could still be part of a 3-wave shape. So part of a 3-wave shape we have here. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So basically a W, X, Y in wave B that gets us above here. Then we come down for C. So that's sort of the idea, right? If you're going to go with the flat pattern. But if not, it doesn't matter. It's still an ABC. I personally hope that the correction can be over sooner rather than later, right? Because again, it's all about the altcoins. So yeah, that's sort of my response to Blockchain Backer. But again, XRP, that's what it's really about. And now how does this play into XRP's hands? Now, real quick, we have A, B, we come down for C, right? We continue higher. Again, go back and watch my videos going back 2 weeks ago. That's basically what we've been talking about. So to see that, to see him make that statement and to see that fractal, that definitely means we're onto something here. And the whole point about it is, I've been saying over and over that this is a bullish correction. We just have to wait it out and get more data, right? So now we have a good amount of data here for what this can be. So it allowed him to match it up with a fractal. So now, what about XRP? The thing with XRP is we are barely above the bull market support band, right? So it's looking really, really interesting. If Bitcoin does come down, right, in its C leg, then we can maybe come down, make another low, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, kind of like a falling wedge maybe, and then continue breaking to the upside, right? So that's kind of what I think for XRP. Now, if the low is in, which it totally could be, maybe we come up one more time and then we start to flag out in here, right? We basically, come up, maybe we start flagging out now, but we're basically flagging out in here, drizzling down, just more waddling, correcting, right, before continuing higher. And you can say, well, Bitcoin looks like it would, if it's going to go down to the bull market support band, it's a lot more downside versus just coming down like this. The reason why is because I think XRP versus Bitcoin, if you look at XRP versus BTC, to me it looks like it's about to outperform Bitcoin, at least in the time being. Look at that. That's a beautiful Wyckoff structure here. We came down in that spring, we took out the low, we grabbed that liquidity, and now we're potentially moving on up here, right, where we do something like that. So, here's the example here on the screen. You can see some type of Wyckoff accumulation. So if that's the case and XRP is going to outperform Bitcoin, then what that means is if and when Bitcoin goes down to the bull market support band in this ABC, or we're looking at total 3 like he did in that expanding flat, then yeah, XRP will probably take a hit too. But what this says is it won't be nearly as bad, right? One, because it looks like we're in Wyckoff, and then two, XRP is already at the bull market support band, right? So it doesn't have as much wiggle room as XRP, or as is Bitcoin. So we have, we come up here in 3, we come down, we take out the low, we come up here in 3, come down, take out the low, we come up here without taking out the top, come up without taking out the top, and then we just sort of go in this spring phase. Takes a little while, boom, boom, boom. We come down, we take out the low, same thing here, and then boom, we continue accelerating. So let's see if we get that, right? It doesn't mean it's going to happen today, tomorrow, or even next week. It might go sideways for a bit before it pumps to the upside. We'll see. The point is, if you look at XRP USD, right, that would sort of correlate with it coming down, because if you see total 3 and or Bitcoin, I mean, obviously both, you're going to see, you have this A, B, right? And then you come down for C, and then you kind of waddle down here, right? Maybe it takes a little less time, maybe a little more time, but essentially you have, let me put this from here all the way down, probably, I would say, about a 10% correction. So if you go to XRP and you go 10% down, that's about 55 cents. That's almost a new low, or that is a new low actually, right? But the thing is, I'm not too sure it would break the low, because when you look at Bitcoin, again, XRP versus Bitcoin, it looks like it's going to outperform it. If you look at Bitcoin itself, let's see what the percentage is here. So let me put this here, and I'm going to go all the way down, projected. Yeah, that's actually about a 10-12% move, right? So if you cut that in half and say, 6%, right? And that's the thing too. I don't know if XRP is going to make one more high before it comes down. That would make more sense. 6% gets us back down to equal lows. So that's kind of where I'm leaning to. Either we get this here. So we have boom, boom, we come down. We have one more high, we have a 1, 2, 3, right? And then we flag out all the way back down to kind of equal lows. Maybe holding above the bull market support band, then continuing higher. If not, then we're going to flag out now, maybe take out the low ever so slightly before it, again, it really depends how long this ABC takes into effect. Now, if this is the idea, it's all speculation. Remember, this is not financial advice. It could be totally wrong. This has been my main idea for the last couple weeks now. We got some more Confluence added to it, but that doesn't mean it would be the main idea. It could still be, potentially it could be a triangle, right? Where you have, I talked about this yesterday, A, B, C, D, and now we're in E before we get the big breakout, right? So hopefully that's not the case, because then we don't get to test the bull market support band. But then again, it could actually be a bigger B wave, right? So something like this, right? Where, you have, your A, you come up for B, then you come down for C, D, then E, then go. Basically a big fat range in here, contracting triangle, right? So that's definitely an idea. The other idea is, I don't like this idea, but like a 1-2, 1-2, and now we're getting ready to go. I just don't really see that. I see people saying it's maybe a triangle here, and we broke out, we're back testing, let's continue. I mean, that would be great, but then we wouldn't get to test the bull market support band. I mean, anything's possible, right? So either way, I'm fine with it, because I would prefer it to hit the bull market support band, but I kind of want to see XRP stay where it is and continue to test this thing. Now you can say, well, it's been doing it for so long, it should be happening soon. Now, what makes me so confident that all of this is going to work out? Because Brad Garlinghouse said that Ripple won the lawsuit. And you go, what? No, he didn't. He didn't say that. Yeah, he did. You just didn't listen. Everybody's talking about Ripple's CEO predicts crypto market will double in size to $5 trillion. You have all the XRP guys talking about it. Yeah, that's what they said. And then you have people making fun of it. Oh yeah, if that happens, XRP will still be at 60 cents. It's not going to do anything. But let me explain something here. Brad Garlinghouse just told you that Ripple won, that it's over. And you go, well, no, he didn't. Well, then why would he say that? Ripple's CEO predicts crypto market will double in size to $5 trillion by the end of 2024, saying that it is easily, look at this word right here, easily. It's not easy for me. It's not easy for a lot of other people. How is it easy for him? Because he has the information. He knows something we don't. And he can say, oh, well, he's talking about the halving. He's talking about the ETFs. Yeah, but everybody already knows that. And the halving's already priced in. The ETFs are already getting priced in. And it's not all going to be Bitcoin, right? It's got to go throughout the rest of the market. So, and especially in the top 10, right? And who's the big dog in the top 10? XRP. So a lot of that money is going to go to XRP. How is that possible if we haven't won the lawsuit? Remember, XRP is not a security. That is the law of the land. But at the end of the day, I believe that Brad Garlinghouse, because remember, it's the month of April, right? A lot of court things are happening. They're in court. They're talking to their lawyers. They're exchanging information. They're going back and forth about different things and settlements. And so obviously Brad Garlinghouse knows something, right? Otherwise, I mean, come on, think about it. Why would he say such an outlandish, crazy, insane prediction? Right? His reputation is on the line. He's not going to come out and say anything ridiculous, right? He's going to keep it within the realm of reason, within the realm of possibility, right? Otherwise, let's say we only get to 3 trillion, then all his clients are going to say, well, wait a minute, you predicted 5, but we only hit 3. That must mean you don't have a good gauge on the market, right? You're supposed to be Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple. You're supposed to be completely consumed by crypto and understanding valuations and really knowing where this market is going. How could you be off so massively of $2 trillion, right? Maybe if we go to 4 trillion, maybe, I don't know. But to me, nobody's talking about it, right? A lot of people are talking about him saying 5 trillion, but I haven't heard one person yet, maybe I haven't seen the video, I haven't heard one person say what this really, really means, right? Brad Garlinghouse just told you they won the lawsuit. Think about it. Why would he say that? There's no way the market can get to 5 trillion without XRP winning the lawsuit. And I'm talking about Matic, Solana, Ethereum, Cardano. I'm talking about all the big ones, Polkadot, Dogecoin, doesn't matter. Those coins cannot pump higher without a win or nothing, right? So for example, if Ripple loses the lawsuit, then Cardano, Matic, Solana, they're all going to dump. Why? Because the lawsuit is so important that Ripple wins, because it will set the precedent for the rest of the legal framework for what's to come, right? And regarding these other cryptos. So at the end of the day, everybody who's not in XRP, like Avalanche and Solana, they all want Ripple to win, because if Ripple wins, then it makes their battles become easier, right? So, and if Ripple wins, all these crypto projects, all these crypto coins are going to pump massively. Why? Because if Ripple wins, then that means they can win, because they can, like I said, set the precedent. But if Ripple loses, they're going to be crapping themselves, because they don't have the money. They don't have $250 million to defend themselves in court, right? Ripple spent $250 million to fight this corruption at the SEC, to defend themselves, right? And they believe wholeheartedly that they're going to go. And that's why they stuck to their guns, right? And they said, let's do it, right? And I believe Ripple wanted them to get sued, number one, because it makes them deem it not a security, and that's what they wanted, right? You could say, well, wait a minute, Ripple wanted them to get sued? Yeah, because it was the only way for them to say it wasn't a security. It was the only way for the conversation for regulatory framework, right? And then also maybe it was pay to play. And then also maybe it was a vetting process for a role they're about to sue. Maybe all the world's money, like a bridge currency. Maybe not. Maybe a fraction of that. Who knows? But at the end of the day, a big CEO doesn't come out and say that without knowing something, right? If I'm Brad Garlinghouse, I have a reputation. I have to keep things within reason. So I'm not going to come out and say, yeah, it's easily predicted that the market's going to go to $5 trillion by the end of the year. Everybody's looking at it like, what? What are you talking about? That's insane. There's no way that's going to happen. That's because XRP, baby. Look at, if XRP hits, let's look here. It's $33 billion. It's nothing compared to 500 or 5 trillion, right? So right now, the dominance for XRP, and I believe the dominance is going to be, it's about 1.34%. I believe the dominance is going to be somewhere, if they win the lawsuit, it's going to retrace this move probably 2 to 3%, right? So let me zoom out here. So what you do is you take 2 to 3%, or actually I would say 3 to 4%, right? I think it has a good possibility getting back up here around that 2, 3, maybe even 4%, somewhere in here. So if you take 3% of 5 trillion, that puts XRP at about $150 billion, right? So if I go all the way up, that's above the all-time high, right? So that puts XRP at about $3.50 to $4, right? So about $4 almost. So if it hits $3.80, if it breaks above the all-time high, then that means it's in price discovery. That means it's going much, much higher than that, right? So now if let's look at the Fibonacci here, right? And we hit a simple 1.618, which is super easily obtainable. Then you're looking at 200 billion, right? So $200 billion out of 5 trillion. I mean, now you're talking a good amount there, right? So I think it can hit the 4.236 extension, and that would bring it at $527 billion, right? So we'll just say 500 billion. So here's the thing. If XRP, so Dogecoin hit the 2 on log scale, which is the equivalent of XRP hitting $100. Obviously, the market cap and things like that are different. But Bitcoin hit 4.236 almost. Ethereum did it. A lot of other coins hit their 4.236 extension. XRP has the biggest base in crypto history. Remember, sideways is what you want. The bigger the base, the higher in space. Look at this sideways base, right? People make fun of XRP. Oh, it's not doing anything. It's boring. It doesn't do this. It stays at 60 cents. I don't want nothing to do with it, blah, 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 blah. But they don't understand that it has to do this in order to build the foundation. Just look at this. I'll show you proof right here. Look at this right here. So here is Dogecoin. Now take a mental screenshot of this. This is incredibly important. Look at this. Look at this. We're going sideways, 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 sideways. It's a crap coin. It's not going to do anything. I'm going to sell, sell, sell. Bam! It explodes to the upside. But how did this explosion come to be? Because it went sideways. How did this explosion come to be? Because it went sideways. So look what we have here on Dogecoin. Look at this. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So pay attention to that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now look at XRP. Right here. Right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, where's 5? We still haven't gotten 5 yet. And that's another thing Brad Garlinghouse knows, right? So let me zoom out a lot here. I'll get rid of that. So look at the difference between this chart here and Dogecoin. Right? So XRP is literally right here. So we have look at all the ammunition we have. We have Ripple IPO coming. We have Ripple, the XRP ETF. XRP ETF is, I think, going to come before Ethereum. Why? Because you got ETH and Ethereum is a security, right? And then once Ripple wins the lawsuit, XRP isn't a security either way. But once they get to a settlement, then they can have the ETF. And I think that's coming very quickly because, again, XRP is going to be the only coin with regulatory clarity. So all the big institutions and everybody like that, right, BlackRock, now they can deal with them because it's all proper and compliant. So Brad Garlinghouse knows. That's why he said 5 trillion. I mean, again, pay attention to this. XRP is right there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is right here. And then 5. We're waiting for 5. Dogecoin got 5. Now go back to XRP. Same thing. Look at this. Look how big 4 is, by the way, right? Remember, bigger the base, the higher in space. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where XRP is. Similar to where Dogecoins, and then what next? Then we get 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are looking for wave 5. So that is another reason. Now it's not going to go that high, obviously. I'm just drawing, but that's another reason, right? Why is probably going to go to 5 trillion is because a lot of that money is going to be help from XRP. Right? I think XRP, it's like a potluck. What do you bring into the potluck? Well, I think XRP is going to bring a lot to the potluck. I think it's going to bring between $300 and $500 billion to that $5 trillion valuation that he's talking about. Maybe it doesn't happen this year, right? I think it could happen, within the next 2 years. I'm really thinking by the end of the year, my whole thing is let's get back to the all-time high by the end of the year, right? Let's break this range within the next couple months. Probably, I said either April or May, we can break this range, right? Then by the end of the year, we can break into a new all-time high. Then by next spring, we can get to our target of, maybe $10 to $15, all the way up to $25. Right? Hitting that log scale 1.618 extension. So I think XRP has everything going for it at the moment. And think about it. Why would Brad Garlinghouse say that if he didn't know they won? If they lost, then it's, how's that 5 trillion going to come out? I don't see it. So, what do you guys think? The same thing with Amazon, right? Back when Amazon, people go, oh, it's not doing anything, it's dead. They came up, right? Here's the all-time high. It didn't break the all-time high until 10 years later. XRP's only been 6 years, right? So remember, Brad Garlinghouse always compares it to Amazon, right? Amazon is to books as Ripple is to payments. Amazon starting off doing books, then Amazon led to other bigger things, right? So we had a rise, we had a crash, we had a retrace, and then we went into reaccumulation, and then we broke out. So rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, we broke out. Same thing, right? What XRP is doing. You can see pretty clearly, right? We have a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, right? We're going sideways now, just like what Amazon did, and then eventually we break out of this top, right? It took 10 years for Amazon to do it. And is Amazon is Amazon crap? No. Right? Everybody bags on XRP because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if the World Bank talks about XRP in their documents talking about cryptocurrencies and stable coins and payment systems. It doesn't matter if Brad Garlinghouse is on the stage with the IMF. It doesn't matter if Brad Garlinghouse is sitting next to the Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority and the chief monetary authority of Hong Kong and people like that, and right, like IMF, World Bank, even Christine Lagarde was there talking with people with Davos and all that, and being in a company like Ripple involved with the World Economic Forum, the Digital Pound Association, all these different things, right? People don't care about that. They don't care that they're partnered with HBI. They don't care that they had a former Secretary of Treasury on the board of Ripple. They don't care about all the board members. It doesn't matter to them. What matters is price. That's what people can relate to. XRP and Ripple can have everything going for it. They can meet the president. Well, maybe not the president, because who knows what's going on with that guy. But Brad Garlinghouse can meet with anybody, the Federal Reserve, right? And people wouldn't even care, because it's all about price. Price is king. Price rules everything, right? So that's the sad, unfortunate truth. But by the time price comes, it would have already been too late. That is what separates, right, the men from the boys. That is what separates a disciplined, grounded, strategic investor from somebody who needs a get-rich quick thing, a pump and dump, right? I know somebody said, "Oh, XRP ain't Dogecoin is way better than XRP." Yeah, as far as valuation, as far as percentage terms, it has been performing better. But Dogecoin already completed 5 waves, right? So Dogecoin is way up here. So why would I invest in that, right? Dogecoin hit the equivalent of XRP hitting $223. That is insane. So basically, nobody wants anything to do with it because it's going sideways, right? People are getting impatient. You can, even people who like XRP, who have it next to their Twitter name, XRP whatever, you can see the frustration in the comments. Oh, it's never going to do anything, because they get complacent. They believe that since it's ranging, it will always range. But they don't realize that that's what needs to happen in order to get this big, explosive move, right, up to here. $10 to $13, $20, right? So you can see that's exactly what happened over here. Look at this move here. Look at this monster move. Where did that monster move? It gave birth from where? From here. Look at this. We were going sideways. Look how torturous that was, right? We're going sideways. It's doing nothing, 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 nothing. Boom. Breaks to the upside, right? What about, let's see if there's any other examples here. Well, look at Ethereum, right? Not as long, but you get the idea. We're going sideways, 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 sideways. Boom. Then we finally go to the moon, right? And then, then all of a sudden people get in up here and they talk about it, right? And then it goes sideways again, which continues higher. Sideways allows you to have long-term sustainability. And there's no other coin in crypto history that does sideways better than XRP, right? It might be torturous to some people, but again, it going sideways for the amount of time it's been doing is just a blessing in disguise. It's basically allowing you, right? Because I assume everybody has a job, they have a paycheck, they take a percentage of their paycheck, they invest it into crypto, maybe every couple months, maybe every week, maybe every 2 weeks, whatever the case may be. XRP has given everybody plenty of time, right? I mean, look here. We come all the way down and we go sideways. And then bam, we break out. So sideways is your best friend. As long as XRP is not dumping and dumping and dumping, right? Like Bitcoin did. Remember, XRP has been in a bear market this entire time. Same thing with XLM, right? XLM has been in a bear market this whole time. XRP never had a bull run. XRP has been in this bear market this entire time. Look at this. While the rest of the market was going out, drinking, having a good time, partying out here, XRP decided to stay home and work out and get smart and read a book, right? And get stronger, right? So it's been in a bear market this whole time. The rest of the market's has been in a bear market since XRP has been in reaccumulation. So the whole time the crypto market was in a bear market, XRP has been in reaccumulation. So this whole thing is reaccumulation. This is all the bear market we had. This wasn't even a bear market for XRP. I mean, look at some of these other coins. Look at Total. Look how big this was here. Right? Look how big that was. That was a monster a bear market from, all of this, right? So if you look at XRP again, I mean, it's not that big. It's pretty small. That's because it's been in a bear market this whole time. So anyway, the point is Brad Garlinghouse thinks 5 trillion. He says it's easily predictable. He knows what's going on in court. We've been going sideways this whole entire time. Dogecoin did it, right? Ethereum, all these coins that you look at that develop a big base, they all end up breaking out massively. So if Dogecoin can do it, XRP can totally do it. Now I get it. It sucks. You have to wait day after day after day. People say, and then you look to Twitter, right? And all these channels, they go $10, $12, $13, all this. And it never happens, never happens, never happens, never happens. Wrong, never happens. You know why? Not because they don't know what they're talking about. Well, some of them totally don't. But it's all about timing. Timing is everything, right? And you're not supposed to time the market. You're supposed to calculate the market, right? And what I see here is very, very bullish. Look at this. We came down. We develop a base, right? We broke above that base and we develop another base. Now pay attention to this. Take a mental screenshot of this. Now look at this. We have A, B, C, D, E on the bull market support band on the second base, right? So now look at this. Same thing with Bitcoin. You came down, you had a base, right? You broke out, and now you had a second base, right? So this second base is back testing the first one. And now look at this. Where's the bull market support band? You have A, B, C, D, E. E is on the bull market support band, right? And then you continue to break out, right? So it looks very bullish. It's right around that bull market support band. You can see how the price is testing it, consolidating in a triangle, going sideways, right? Now looking at XRP, same exact thing right here. We're going sideways. We're on the bull market support band. It's looking really, really good for upside. So another thing too is look at the green line. It's about to cross. We're going to have a bullish cross from this bull market support band. And then look at this current weekly 10-day candle is a bullish hammer candle. Let me go to the weekly chart, right? And then look at last week. We wicked below, but we still held above the bull market support band. This is nothing is saying bearish here. This is all bullish. It might feel horrible because it's taking so long, but that's what it needs to do, right? Like Warren Buffett says, the stock market is a device that transfers wealth from the impatient to the patient, right? So you got to be patient. It's all about patience, right? Every day they say, "Oh, nothing happens." Just you got to give it time, right? The best things in the world take time. It's like a cup of coffee. It's the more it brews, the stronger it's going to be. And when this thing rips, it's going to wake you up like you've never been woken up before. So, what can happen in the short term? Like I said, we probably flag out in here, or if we do break the low, something like this, where you connect these lines here, maybe a diagonal. But I don't think so. I'm going to stick with my guns here and say we hold this low for now. Now, the short term is always iffy because you have Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin does what that fractal suggests from earlier, right? And basically that fractal is what we've been talking about, which is an ABC in the form of a flat. Then, yes, we can see a little bit of downside. But when you look at XRP versus Bitcoin, to me it looks like this Wyckoff accumulation schematic. So if that's the case, if XRP is going to outperform Bitcoin, then on the smaller time frame, we on XRP USD, we can probably see some strength come in. So if Bitcoin does have to come all the way down and test the bull market support band, just like Total 3, it has to come all the way down here, then yes, XRP will take a hit. But the question is, it's not going to be as bad as Bitcoin and Total 3, right? So we have this move 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you have A, B, C, and maybe you get another wave down like this, and you kind of bull flag out. So you have this flagpole, and you're basically just flagging out in here, right? Maybe we do come lower, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because it's looking really primed for some upside. So that's my take. What do you guys think? If you guys could, that would be amazing if you get that like button and also drop a comment. And if you want to support the channel, you can do so by through the YouTube tip jar and support my work. I got 4 addresses on the screen. You can scan it with your Google Lens there. That really helps grow the channel. Much appreciated. And also, if you want me to take a look at a certain altcoin, I do a series once a week, rapid fire. So if you have any coins or charts you want me to take a look at, drop them in the comment section below. But what do you guys think? I really want to know what you think about what Brad Garlinghouse said, because think about it. He comes out and he says, all of us, like, just so randomly, right? He said it right when XRP versus Bitcoin was in the spring. He also said it in the month of April. That's the month that they're meeting with the SEC, right? So why would he all of a sudden come out and say 5 trillion by the end of the year? Because he probably knows something. He knows what's going to happen in regards with the lawsuit. And most likely it's going to be revealed, sometime this year, which is going to cause the crypto prices to go crazy. Now, again, we're reaching the summer months, right? So a lot of times we get boring price action, but hopefully we get another pump before, we really have April, May to get it done. Because you know what they say, sell in May and go away, right? And then once June, July, August come, the markets kind of, flatten out a little bit, and they really get bullish between October and December, right? Those are the bullish months. So, spring and winter are very bullish. So we'll see how that plays out. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think. I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.